What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Sports Network and the Woodward Bets Show. I'm Scott G. Risen, _G. Risen on the socials. This joined back again today by Chris D. Backer, also known as Detroit Beastie. What's going on, Chris?
Hey, Scott, you don't have to call me by my last name. You can call me Chris Robin or a.k.a. at Detroit Beastie. So happy to be here this afternoon.
Great. Sounds good. I'll tell you what, we did a show yesterday. I was, nervous as can be. It was the first time I ever really hosted a show, and I know you and I had just met yesterday, but we continued on. We still got heavy hearts over here at the Woodward's Bet. My partner, Chris Prince, had a death in the family. So, again, our condolences. But, again, we're going to carry on. Yesterday's show, I'll tell you what, I think you and I did really well. I mean, we gave out two bets, best bets each, and we actually ended up being 3-0-1 with our best bets. So, it was a good success with that. I can't complain. Your best bet, you had Cincinnati +3, which ended up being a push. And then you had the Raiders, which I wasn't really quite happy with it at +6. But you know what? They came through after a hard-fought Monday night win over Baltimore. And my best bet actually came through in like the first few minutes. We had an Allen Robinson anytime touchdown +135, ended up being a winner. And then I had Buffalo -3.5, which was a sleeper. It was just a lock in the bag the whole way through. But yeah, how was your Sunday? How did that go?
Oh, it was fantastic. And Scott, I got to tell you, I watched back the hour that we were on the air, and it wasn't great. I mean, my part was great, but you were just okay. I'm just kidding around here. It was a fantastic time. As you said, the Allen Robinson bet hit. I hadn't even left the Woodward Sports studio, and you texted me and said A-Rob had already scored a touchdown. But that was it for A-Rob. I don't know what the heck is going on with him in Chicago. Don't know why they're not using him. That's a topic and a story for another day, but I'm proud of, and it's not even that big a deal. I told anybody that would listen, Derrick Henry is going to have a big day, like a classic King Henry kind of game. And look what happens. He had a bunch of carries, 160 plus yards, 2 touchdowns, and here we are.
Man, that was a great call, I will say. I mean, damn, Henry's just got such big upside, especially when he gets rolling. I mean, it's just like downhill for him. Henry's just a beast, obviously. But yeah, that was a great call. You actually had to have Henry on your teams, or you really weren't going to be at the top of any kind of GPPs yesterday. FanDuel, he was like 15% owned. But I think what ended up happening to A-Rob, you talk about that. I think Dalton getting hurt, which, we can kind of talk about here, and it's something I would like to talk about on Mondays going forward here as we do this Woodward Bets show. There was some injuries yesterday that we saw. I sit around every Sunday, actually every night. I got 3 big 65-inch TVs in my basement. I watch sports nonstop, take notes, do things. I know you do the same. We kind of had some conversations. But Andy Dalton going out there in that first half pretty much did not help A-Rob's cause at all. I think with Fields, he's still green running around. He's probably not looking at any kind of progressions or anything like that. So I think that really hurt Robinson, Dalton going out. What do you think of that there with A-Rob and Dalton getting hurt?
Yeah, I find it to be, awful. Look at what happened in Miami last season. They say Tua's the quarterback, then they replace him at halftime with Ryan Fitz, and one guy doesn't know what the other one is doing. The coaching staff seemed like they were, ill-advised decisions, and the same thing is going on in Chicago. Matt Nagy is just being dragged through the mud, raked over the coals there, because this morning, Monday morning, Scott, he just said too, as long as Andy Dalton is healthy, he's our quarterback. I don't know what the heck he's doing. I don't know why he's got to put on some sort of show, all the smoke and mirrors. Get Justin Fields in there now and let him learn on the go, feet to the fire. I know you and me both. We're both cut from the same cloth, trial by fire, and we learn from that action phase. In all my years, in school and doing notes and math, whatever, I learned by seeing it done and then trying it myself, applying it myself that way. So I could see that Justin Fields needs to be the same way. way, when you're a young kid like Fields or even Trey Lance in San Francisco, these kids can't be in and out of the lineup. Well, you're going to come in on a couple goal line packages, and then it's going to be this guy. Like, you have to go all in one way or another. If Justin Fields isn't your starting quarterback and it's Andy Dalton, then it's 100% Andy Dalton. You can't keep flip-flopping these people, the guy in Andy Dalton and the kid in Justin Fields. It's not good for anybody's confidence, and it's not good for, the makeup of the team.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's just, I think a lot of times these coaches, they get afraid at the beginning of the year just because they don't feel these guys maybe know the systems and stuff yet. But, we were kind of mentioned Dalton getting hurt. Some other injuries that are happening around the NFL. Dalton got hurt. We saw Tyrod Taylor get hurt. We saw Jarvis Landry got hurt, which kind of really tilted me because I had some Brown stacks. Tua got hurt. Trey Sermon left with an injury. And then so did Deontay Johnson there at one of the last plays of the game. So just kind of keep them injuries in mind when you're looking at some of your season long. Maybe keep an eye on some of those. You might be able to get some of their backups, get some waiver wire action going there. But hey, obviously the top of the night is this big Lions-Packers game we got tonight, Monday Night Football. I know the Woodward Sports Network is doing a pregame show over there at O'Toole's from 6 to 8. So hey, everybody, get on over there, check that out. If not, if you can't make it on over there and see some of the personalities, just make sure you log on and make sure you check that out. But Chris and I here are going to break down this game a little bit. I think we got a good one here. Obviously interesting. We don't generally see the Lions on a Monday night, so big time Monday night for us here in Detroit. What are your opening thoughts of this game here?
Yeah, if you can, go to O'Toole's and go hang with Maz. Say, Maz is the nicest guy on earth. I've never actually met him, but I was texting you, Scott, not too long ago. I was watching Braylon and Armani going, and Maz is just so kind. He's so wholesome. He just carries the broadcast. You can look at him and everything is going to be okay. So go downtown, check out the Woodward Sports Boys. But in terms of the Monday Night Football game here, you're right. The Lions rarely get a primetime game. They get Thanksgiving once a year, and that's about it. So looking at this one, my opening statement, if we're in court here, would be Green Bay is going to roll the Lions. I mean, everybody across the country thinks that the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers are just going to steamroll the Detroit Lions. But I would say with the guy with the autographed Swift jersey hanging behind me, a guy born and raised in Detroit, you have the T-shirt on, Scott. I can tell you, hold your horses. I don't think the Lions are going to lay down and die that easy tonight.
No, I'll tell you what, though. I know one dude, though, that's really praying to God that the Lions win tonight. I don't know if anybody saw some of the buzz around the industry, but there was a dude who bet a 16-leg parlay, and his last bet, $25 bet, to win exactly $736,959 off a $25 bet. He took the Lions at plus 400 on the money line as his last leg here on Monday night.
Oh,
now,
boy.
I'll be honest with you. I was kind of looking into this. I was intrigued by this wager here. Now, a lot of times I do believe sometimes these sports books just put out these bullshit tweets and try to, get discussion, whatever else. Well, hey, this one worked on me. The dude's 15 out of 16. He's coming into this last Monday night. All you novice type bettors, if you're going to do this, listen, if you're going to make some crazy
cash out.
No, there's no cash out apparently. I guess this was done through the MGM app or something in Vegas, and they don't have the cash out. But somebody was rumored it was $140K cash out. If you would have took the 15 and 15 the way it did, I actually put it in a parlay calculator, it would have paid $145K for $25. So adding the Lions at plus 400 got them up to the 700 some thousand as that 16 wager. But my point is in the last wager, you don't take a plus 400 like this. You got to be able to have some way of hedging. Because if the guy would have took the Packers at a minus 600, he would have literally had to bet $600K to win his $100K. And assuming the dude's betting a $25 bet, he don't have that kind of money.
You don't have it.
If you're gonna bet a lottery ticket parlay, make sure your last game is something that you can hedge. Because if he would have had the Packers today on the money line at like a minus 300 or 400, he could have put the Lions in. Got even money, wouldn't have cost him as much to hedge it. Some will argue, if you're betting the $25, why hedge? But you know what? I would have hedged, especially on a 15 out of 15. But yeah, that was quite interesting. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I thought that was interesting.
I did. And my first reaction was, I'm so used to, like we talked earlier today and even yesterday about growing up with our fathers, and we always bet sports and we're always into odds and calculating numbers here. Now, if you bet with a bookie, right, you go down an alley and that's what most people think. A guy wearing a trench coat and you give some cash, you bring a knife just in case, and you bet with a real bookie here. But in today's day and age, everything is on your phone or on your computer. And I know a lot of these sports book betting apps now, you can cash out. I know a lot of people, myself included, looking for an edge. Like I remember betting basketball and I would bet fourth quarter only. I would do something weird, right? And then every 2 seconds I would refresh to kind of cash out, put 10, 20 in, see if I can cash out and double my money. So when I initially read this bet, I said, there's no way this guy wasn't given the chance to cash out here. I mean, the sports book is looking at what he could, potentially return, not going to break the book here or break the casino, but I'm saying there's got to be some way to cash out. I'm with you. I don't think this is completely honest with the MGM Grand or whoever is, sponsoring this bet here. Or maybe they looked at it and go, hey, we're on the hook. If the Lions win, we got to give you $700K. And they looked at all of each other at a boardroom meeting, go, Lions aren't winning today. What do we care? Let the guy think he's got something here.
Right, that could be. I mean, just looking at the guy's plays, he had what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs. The biggest dog he had was a plus 190 and a plus 190 with the Titans and Raiders. I mean, the dude's either a Lions fan or they're bullshitting us. So, either way. But good luck if that shit's real. Good luck to that guy. Plus 400. The Lions pending 736K. Hey, good for you, bud. But I broke down this game a little bit. I was looking at some betting trends that we have with this Lions and Packers. For the most of us here in Detroit would obviously think, hey, the Packers have been kicking our ass, and they actually have been. But so far this year, the Lions are 1-0 against the spread. The Packers are 0-1 against the spread. But in the last 8 meetings, the Lions are 7-1 against the spread in the last 8 meetings versus the Packers. They're 4-1 against the spread as underdogs in their last 5, and the unders come in the last 4 out of 5. So, you look at some betting trends here. The Lions are in a good spot. I saw earlier you're on the Lions here, so go ahead, have at it. Let me know why you're on the Lions. I'm kind of on the fence here. I'm not sure.
Sure. And with any sort of sports betting, after a certain amount of time, like you always need more action. You need to dig deeper. And sometimes something becomes, boring, or you build up a tolerance or something like this. So I love looking at these weird off the wall stats. The over is 5-2, the Lions last 7 games as a road underdog, 5-2 last 7 as the road underdog. They are a road underdog tonight in Green Bay. So maybe they can make it 6-2. The under here, Scott, is 4-0. For the Packers, last 4 versus a team with a losing record. That's easy peasy. 4-0 for the Packers and the under versus a losing record here. But in terms of the Lions here, I just think, I'm going to throw out all the over under, all that nonsense stuff and all that player DVP and all the players versus here. I think it's a Monday night football game. Green Bay is going to be razor sharp after they looked silly playing New Orleans last week and they scored 3 points. So everybody, rightfully so, all the sharps, everybody is on Green Bay tonight. They're going to blow them out. Rodgers is a lock for 300 plus yards, 3 touchdowns. I know some personal folks that are betting that Rodgers has 400 plus passing yards, and they're working it into almost every parlay they can find. I mean, that's nuts to me. But if you look at the Lions side of the ball, you know what? I've never been a moral victory kind of guy, especially as a Lions fan. It's kind of shoddy. It's lame. It's not, as a grown man, a moral victory. It doesn't really ring any bells. You're not like, hey, yeah, it's a moral victory. You'd get laughed at, right? But the Lions, they came on strong against San Francisco last week. That's what everybody was talking about across the country on ESPN, all little sports shows like the one we're doing here, Woodward Sports. Everybody, local Detroit radio said, well, you know what? The Lions lost, but they came on strong. They didn't look foolish and they didn't look silly here. So I think the Lions can carry that momentum over. Almost the same MO as I said yesterday in terms of the Vegas Raiders. Something special what is going on with the Raiders, and they're building on what they're doing. Carr looked good, and I could see a case here where Jared Goff goes for 300 yards again, couple touchdowns. I love the tandem of DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams here. I'm not buying into the revenge game for Jamal Williams. He wasn't a superstar there, but he's going to be a superstar here in Detroit. So give me the Lions based on the merit, and give me the Lions based on this coaching staff, Dan Campbell included, has these guys fired up, and they're going to go bonkers tonight in Lambeau Field.
I'm sure most of Detroit would be happy to see that for sure. I got a bet here, a player prop bet that I think is just it's just phenomenal. I was looking at it, and the more I looked into it, I kept getting excited and excited and excited. But I'm going to hold that out a little bit here, just to I don't want to give that out just quite yet. I'm going to hold on here, but let's talk about some other type showdown content for like DFS. So obviously on DFS, we got DraftKings and FanDuel. They have their showdown, one game, single contest. They're a little bit different. Obviously on DraftKings, there's some more players. They actually give you a salary discount. Basically, if you put a guy, it's a different price for a guy in an MVP, where FanDuel, they're all the same price. They have a little bit less guys. It seems like there's more ties on FanDuel, but I primarily play on FanDuel. I don't generally play on DraftKings. But sometimes when I do like to play showdowns, I do like to play on DraftKings. And tonight, I think a lot of people are going to obviously go to like Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers for those MVPs, and then start filling out their lineups. I don't mind the Aaron Rodgers way. I just think you'd have to get a little bit different with some of them pass catchers. But I will say one thing. I think if you line up some Lions today, I don't think too many people are going to be on the Lions. So if you're playing some showdowns and you build some Lions dominant teams, I think that's a way kind of get up to the top. I think what really could be in store tonight are the two running backs for the Lions catching a lot of balls out of that backfield. So, if you look at the game last week, the Lions had 20-some pass attempts to our running backs last week, which, 20 targets, that's quite a bit for a backfield. But I don't know. I just kind of was looking at this showdown content here, and I'm thinking, maybe put a Lions running back at a captain spot, maybe like a Jamal or, even a Swift. Swift was a little banged up last week, but I don't know. What do you think about that captain spot in the showdowns tonight?
Well, I've never been a big showdown or single game guy, but I know a lot of folks out there love that stuff. So of course, I will indulge and I will entertain it, and I love to write about it and give my 2 cents here. So to me, one guy nobody's talking about in the captain spot is Khalif Raymond, Detroit Lions wide receiver, Green Bay's 5th overall against opposing wide receivers. Khalif is $8,000 on FanDuel, $4,400 on DraftKings. And look, Tyrell Williams is already out, so it's up to Khalif, Quintez, and even Amon-Ra St. Brown. And if you look at what happened last week against San Francisco, Khalif came out of nowhere. He was way more involved than I thought he was going to be. I didn't even know he was on the Lions team leading up to this game here. I mean, they were getting him out in space. They were manufacturing targets and touches for Khalif Raymond, screen passes, little trickery behind the line of scrimmage here. So give me Khalif Raymond to find the end zone tonight. Maybe he finds 2. I'm not predicting or projecting that, but in the captain spot, you're going to want to hit a home run there, especially in a large GPP multi-entry contest here. So of everybody going tonight, I'd prefer Khalif Raymond. Or on the Green Bay side of things, let's see what we can get from Randall Cobb. $6,500 on FanDuel, only $2,000 on DraftKings here. I think the same thing could be said for Randall Cobb here. Green Bay will look to manufacture him some touches, get him some work behind the line of scrimmage, and shoot him off like a cannon. So Randall Cobb and Khalif Raymond are on my radar this evening in the captain MVP spot.
Yep, I don't mind at all. Obviously Randall Cobb coming back to Green Bay, that was something Aaron Rodgers really wanted. So, they're boys, they're buddies. So I could see that. But some bets for tonight that I was looking at, obviously with Metro Detroit's new toy, I was looking at like who might score this touchdown tonight. I usually a lot of times just like to throw maybe 1 or 2 guys at that and just have some fun. But you look at these guys to score a first touchdown, a lot of these Packers, their odds really aren't that great. The Adams and the Jones and the Rodgers aren't that great. But if I was to look at a Packer, I think I might look at Tanyan. He's at basically 10-1 odds, plus 1,000, basically 10-1 odds. So I don't mind that at all. And if I was going to bounce it back with a Lion, you look at Swift, he's at plus 11, 11-1 odds. Hawkinson's 13-1. And then you got Jamal Williams, too. Jamal Williams, I think, is going to be in play today. I can't say I maybe would use him for the first touchdown, but I do like him to score an anytime touchdown today. We all can see him scoring a touchdown, and the question is he going to jump up, do a Lambeau leap in his old stadium, especially with that revenge game? Williams, I've already kind of take a liking to this guy. He seems like he's got a great personality. I've seen some of the videos he put out. He's kind of a funny guy, so he seems like a leader in the clubhouse, and I can just see all his teammates seem like they like him. I think they're going to want to get him to score today. So I do like that anytime touchdown today for Jamal Williams. Who do you like maybe score the first touchdown tonight?
I think the crazier the better here. So for me, I think Robert Tonyan is on the radar here to score the first touchdown, or something crazy like MVS, Marquez Valdez-Scantling from the Green Bay Packers here.
That's a good call as well. You get some pretty good odds on him. I like to usually take one guy from each side of the ball, just try to pick one, and I never really go with those favorite guys. And generally I'd bet maybe only bet like a half a unit or so. Like if I'm betting $100, I might only bet maybe $20 or $25 on the guy to score a first touchdown, just kind of a little bonus thing. But just to get into my favorite play of today, one of the games, and I'm going to spend a little time talking about it, but Jamal Williams to me and the Swifts, any of these receiving props tonight for our Detroit running backs, I think are in a great spot. I mean, you just look at everything here. I mean, they had 20 targets last week, as I already mentioned. They both had 8 catches. Yes, Swift is out snapping Williams almost 3-1, but I kind of think Swift's kind of got some tissue type issues, injuries. It looks like he got some hamstring kind of stuff going on. So I worry about Swift maybe going out, maybe a little early at some point in time. It does concern me a little bit. But I'll tell you, these running back receiving props are really interesting. I think Jamal Williams is at 2.5 catches in the game. I really like that. It's at even money. I also like his receiving props, his yardage. It went actually today. It was at it was at 17 yards, and it's almost gone up to 20 yards. So I think some others are seeing it as well. But I really do like these running back receiving props. The game script is going to be for that. We saw it last week with the Lions getting their ass kicked by San Francisco. They just had to keep throwing the ball. They kept dumping the ball. And I think we're going to see a lot of that again tonight with these running backs of the Lions. So, I mean, I think that's a great bet tonight. I almost think for me, it's my favorite bet by far. So I've already locked in some bets tonight with these Lions running back player props, especially on FanDuel, MGM, DraftKings. You can find those player props. But yeah, I really like that. What do you think of that? Am I crazy here or what? What do you think? What do you think of that bet?
No, we're absolutely on the same page, and I have a parlay sitting right next to me. I already made the bet, and I wrote it down just in case anybody, cared to know what I'm betting on tonight. I'm with you. I love all the overs in terms of the receiving props for Jamal Williams. I believe Jamal's is over, it's insane. It's like 28 yards or something crazy like that. Aaron Jones, over rushing yards. It's only 68.5. Give me that. Aaron Jones, 60-plus yards receiving. Give me that. So I'm hammering all these running backs over, not only rushing yardage, but receiving yardage too. DeAndre Swift's over rushing yard, over under, it's only 42.5 yards here for the rushing yardage. I think he does that in his sleep. I think he finishes with, high end 75 plus yards on the ground, and his receiving yardage over under right now is at 28.5. Again, over. So to be personally honest with you, Scott, I have the over on Aaron Jones, Jamal Williams, and DeAndre Swift in both receiving yardage and rushing yardage.
I love it. You look at these Lions coaches. I mean, look where Campbell came from. Obviously came from New Orleans. We had Kamara, pass happy type defense or offense. I'm sorry. And then you had our offensive coordinator came from San Diego. Obviously, he made Aaron, he made Eckler look pretty good. So, I really think that this is going to be something the Lions are going to do. I think they're going to dump it off quite a bit to these running backs, especially when they're losing. And then, obviously garbage time, for Jamal Williams to get over his receiving yard total. I mean, what do we need him to break one tackle, linebacker, and he's going to get 15, 16, 20 yards possibly. So, I mean, to me, I think he could get that in the first quarter, and I'm going to be celebrating, crack me a Modelo, have me some fun, watch this game tonight. But, yeah, pretty excited for some Monday Night Football in Detroit. Like I said, we don't really generally get too many primetime games, so it should be a good time tonight.
Absolutely. And who's to say that, I'll make this short and sweet, who's to say the Detroit Lions coaching staff doesn't give Jamal Williams the first series of the game just because of where it is and where Jamal Williams came from. So, yeah, first series, Scott, he could hit all his receiving yardage over.
Yeah, I hear you. I like it. So just before we get out of here, I know we had to cut a little short this week, just because of all the exciting pregame action we got over at Woodward Sports. Like I said, make sure you get over there to Old Tools tonight. Check out that pregame show we got from 6 to 8 over there. I'm sure this should be a lot of fun. But if not, make sure you get on and check it out. But, hey, before we get out of here, let's just give a prediction on the game here with the Lions. I thought here at first that, the Green Bay is just going to absolutely smash Detroit. I actually said at first I thought the score is going to be Team Green Bay. But I'll tell you what, in the last maybe half hour or so, just kind of looking around, I'm not really liking how many people I see all over Green Bay. I generally like to go against the public. So, hey, I'm going to take the Lions here. I'm going to take them to cover. I'm not going to take them to win straight out so that guy wins his 736, but I'm going to take the points tonight. And I actually don't at 11 mind dipping it up, taking that tease, passing that 14, and getting to that 17 number. So I don't mind that either. But so, yep, I'm going to take the Lions tonight. I'm going to drink the blue Kool-Aid, and hopefully we can get us some victory.
I'm with you 100%. I love the over to hit, and I'm taking the Lions with the points here. A double-digit point spread, Monday Night Football. What better time than here? What better time than now? I have the Lions winning 34-31, Scott.
Sounds good. Well, I'll tell you what, that's going to wrap it up here for us here at Woodward Bets. See if you can join us tomorrow. We'll be here again. So good luck, Lions. Let's go.